Hello out there, all you poker junkies. This is Compin Cards. I am bringing you the first edition of the PokerJunkie Podcast. Now, first off, I'd like to apologize for those of you that were expecting to hear these broadcasts a little more frequently. However, we've run into a few snags in some of our segments, so this is really the first opportunity that we've had to bring you a podcast. So with that being said, I figured I would go through some of the events that already went down and give some of my thoughts. And I'm going to start with event number 2, which was the $50,000 Players Championship. If you would have told me before this event started that Michael Mizrachi was going to win this thing, I would have thought you were crazy. I would have also thought you were crazy to even suggest that he would even cash in this thing, because I really did not give Mizrachi credit for having skills in mixed games. Now, once he got to the final table, I thought that he really had a shot to take it down because no limit is his game. However, I never really thought that he was that good in the whole 8-game mix. Of course, he proved me wrong, and then, of course, he turned around and made the final table of the Stud World Championship. So you've really got to give the man his props for being able to play more than just No Limit Hold'em. Now, outside of that, the other big story of the WSOP so far was Min Nguyen winning his 7th WSOP bracelet. There are only 8 people in history now that have at least 7 bracelets, and Min joins that group, being the 8th player to do so. Now, I know Min has gotten a lot of knocks over the years. Some people think that he's a cheat, or may even think they know so. I've never had any problems with Min the Master. He's actually the first big-name pro that I ever met, and, I mean, he was nice to me. I mean, he's been a fairly nice fellow. He has helped a lot of people in the poker community. He's brought along a lot of people. Now, I know he's had some knocks, but, hey, 7 bracelets are still 7 bracelets, so you gotta give him his props. Matt Matros. I give Matt Matros big props for not only winning the 1500 Limit Hold'em bracelet, but also making the final table of the 2000 Limit Hold'em event. For those of you that don't play Limit Hold'em, that is actually quite an accomplishment. I mean, a lot of people are like, ooh, making 2 No Limit Hold'em tables is a greater feat. No. Unless you're a limit player, you know how swingy the game can be, and to be able to make both of those final tables, I think, speaks a lot to Matros' ability and, of course, his ability to run good at the right time. Looking through this list, also got to give props to Eric Bugman. He finished at the final table of the main event last year, was part of the November 9, and turn around this year and has won his first bracelet. He took down the 2000 Limit Hold'em title at the same final table that Matt Matros was at. So you've got to really give him credit for that. Next, I'd like to quickly touch on the so-called Year of the Woman here at the World Series of Poker. There has been a lot of speculation that women were going to do extremely well. However, to this point, we've only had basically 3 women make the final table of an open event. I don't count the ladies' event as part of this Year of the Woman thing, because women are going to naturally make the final table of that. Of course, we did have a man make the money in this year's event, but we'll talk about that in a second. Jennifer Harmon and Liz Liu making final tables was really not really that big of a shock to me. I mean, it was honestly something that I expect out of Jennifer. Jennifer makes final tables left and right at the World Series. I've watched her personally and covered her at a couple of final tables, so I mean, her making a final table was not that big of a shock. Liz Liu, not real big of a shock either. However, Christine Peach, I guess that's how you pronounce her name. Her last name is Pietsch. Peach, whatever. She finished 2nd in the 7-card stud event. This is her first WSOP, and she is, from what I've heard, a fairly well-known online stud player. And this is her first WSOP, and she's finished second in the 1500 stud. And I give her big props for that, because stud is a tough game. And if you can go deep in that event, you're really, not obviously you're running well to a degree, but you've also got some game if you can make the final table of a stud bracelet event. So I give her big props in that. Now, I have a few minutes left. I'd like to briefly touch on the women's event. The Ladies Championship started 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, however you'd like to look at it. This is the third day of the event. It started 2 days ago, might as well say. And the big story was the fact that several men, including Sean D., decided to join the event. And personally, I'm not a real big fan of guys playing in women's events, because I think that it's a tad bit silly, because basically they're trying to take advantage of the weak field, and the women's event are there for a reason. Now granted, I'm not real fond of it being a bracelet event, but if they're going to have the women's event, let the women have their event and let them play it out. With that being said, I don't agree with it being a bracelet event. Of course, at the same time, I don't think that the employees event or the seniors event should be a bracelet event. All WSOP events should be open fields. That's my opinion on the matter. Now, if they want to have a women's event, that's fine, because yes, it does draw women out to play at the WSOP that would probably not play otherwise, because, to be blunt, most of us guys are assholes at the table. And if we're not being an asshole, we're going to be hitting on them, or being basically general guys, you know. Don't know why I'm having such a hard time grabbing my words there, but you get my point. A lot of women prefer to play online. I mean, they don't have to put up with a lot of the crap that they would at a live final table. You can also make money twice as fast, and you can buy in for a lot of events for the same money. So it's no surprise that more women want to play online. Now, with that being said, I think that Seth Polanski's hint that he might ban guys that played in the ladies' event, I think is, one, a little too extreme, and two, I think he's asking for a lot of litigation if he decides to go that route, because while he is trying to take the stance of they can refuse service to anyone at any time, the reality is he has come out and said that he's punishing these guys for playing the events. So while he's not outright saying that they can't play, a lot of courts are going to look at that and saying, okay, yeah, you're not specifically saying that they can't play, but you're punishing these guys for playing, so we're going to slap you with some type of sanction or fine or whatever. With that being said, if they want to keep, basically keep it to where women are playing by themselves, Daniel Negreanu echoed a sentiment that I had a while back. Basically, make both a men's only event and a women's only event. That way, if the men want to play, I'm sorry, you have to play in your own event. This event is for women only. Go play your own event coming up in a week or whenever they decide to do it. But that's just my thought on that matter. And I am about to run out of time here. I only got about a minute left, so if you have any comments or suggestions for any upcoming Poker Junkie podcast, feel free to either leave me a message on our Facebook page at Poker Junkie. You can also Twitter me at CompinCards on Twitter, obviously, or send me an email, compincards@gmail.com. Hopefully next time we'll come back, we'll be able to bring you some segments other than me just rambling on about a few events, and hopefully get Melissa to join us as well. Until next time, take care and good luck at the tables.